What is up, guys? This is John with Gaming Through the Decades, and oh man, I got another pickup video. This might take a while. All right, so I'm just gonna get right into this, and like always, we'll start oldest games on up, and guess what? Hey, I've got some 8-bit games this time, and let's go ahead and grab those and see what we got. So the first thing you're gonna notice is, you should notice that the audio's fixed, thank God. Well, apparently, these went through the wash. They didn't work for a while, now all of a sudden they work, so guess what I'm using again? And last time I had them in, I was being brain dead and essentially put them in backwards. So anyways, it's all in the past. Finally got our audio fixed. So unless my kids decide to make a ton of noise, we should be good. Also, second thing, yeah, I'm wearing a hat. And the reason why I'm wearing a hat is that's why I'm wearing a hat. I live in Arizona and in the Phoenix area, and it is like 110, 115 degrees right now. And if you have hair, that is not fun. So I like to be as cool as possible. So I'm gonna sport the hat. I don't think I look good with a shaved head, but it's kind of nice in the summer, not having to worry about hair out here. So that's what the hat's for. All right, so 8-bit games. The first two are games I got because they were essentially referred, or I was referred to them, referred to me, however the hell you say it, through two other YouTubers. So I figured I'd go check them out. And the first one is Section Z. This is a real basic shooter, and I got it on Amazon. Actually, I had a $10 Amazon gift card, so I got this one and the next one I'm going to show you. But it's a I guess it'd be a side-scrolling shooter, and you know, there's nothing too crazy about it. It's a little difficult though. It does got some, it is a little mazy. At the end of each level, you got to pick which way to go, and if you don't go the right way, you could essentially be repeating the same level, and that took me a while to figure out. But NES shooters are fun, and they're good throwing games, as I like to call them. So, you know, I figured I'd pick it up. Didn't pay anything for it. So why not? It was referred to me, so figured I'd give it a shot. The next one is Dino Riki. This is a top-down shooter for the NES, obviously, and it's a good game. Yeah, it's one of those games that's incredibly difficult, but you know, I think there's maybe 5 levels. There's boss fights at each level. I honestly didn't get past like 1-4. I gotta sit down and play it. This one I play with my kids. We, you know, take bets on who's gonna, you know, get to the furthest level, who's gonna, you know, get past the 1-3 level, and if you do, you get $1 or you get some ice cream or whatever. You can stay up for 5 minutes. So it's a fun game. Next two games are NES games from my childhood, and I used these, I had some trade-in credit. So this one is the first TMNT. The one that is also famous for the water level. Had that growing up, so I figured I'd give that one. Saw it at the retro store, figured I'd pick it up. And you know, hey, had to get it. And another one is one that's apparently not so well known, and it was on one of my retro replay series, and that is Yo Noid. And you're essentially the dominoes, the Noid, the character, the mascot from the game, and it's the city you're in. I guess, I forget, somebody's daughter got abducted or something happened in the city, and anyways, you as the Domino's Noid had to go through and save the city. All right, so next we got a couple PlayStation games. Guys, I just apologize if there's no game clips. This is a lot of games, and you'll see as we go further into this, but The next few games are actually PlayStation and Dreamcast games. And we only have one PlayStation game. I found this at a thrift store for $4. It is a green label game. It's not crazy expensive or anything like that, but I figured for $4 I'd give it a shot, and that is Final Fantasy VIII green label. And you know, to be honest with you, I did play it for a little bit. And I did play it, and man, it starts off really slow. And maybe I'll try it. Maybe I'll try and just sit down and give it like 2 hours, 3 hours, and if I still don't like it, I'll trade it in. But I'm really not feeling this one. And I heard it's not one of the better ones. I heard it's actually one of the worst ones of the series. So, all right, the next three are Sega Dreamcast games. These were all bought at a retail store for less than $6 a piece. So I figured these were games I had before I sold my collection before moving out to Arizona about 3 years ago. So I just wanted to go back and rebuy these. I didn't want to have to wait to find them. And the first one is an awesome racing game that I would recommend. It is Flag to Flag. And I think it was marketed as a arcade style game, or arcade style racer. It does have a little simulation to it, the way the car controls, but it's not quite as arcadey maybe as like a Daytona, but it is on that arcade level, between that line of arcade and simulator. But it's a good game, I really enjoy it. Now the handling in the vehicles is really good, not like a lot of simulators. I think when you play a lot of simulators, they're a little too sensitive, and this one's definitely not the case. The next one is Sega Bass Fishing, which I love because I do have my Sega Dreamcast fishing reel, which is fun with this game. Biggest fish I caught so far is 15 pounds. So if you can beat me, or if you have beat me, drop the comment. I'm wondering if what the biggest fish in that game you could possibly catch. And then the next one is a timeless classic. I only paid $6 for it. I could have just downloaded it and ripped it, but I enjoy having this one. And that is Crazy Taxi. So we got some hardware again, and I got it at Goodwill, which is a surprise. It's like ever since I posted that video of Goodwill being ridiculous with their prices, I've been finding some pretty good deals, ironically. So maybe I'll start giving them shit more often. And this was $9, $9.99. Came with the power cord. I've never really been looking for one. I'll be honest with you. I certainly wasn't going to pay retail for one. And this just happened to pop up, and lately a lot of people have been telling me like, oh, you got to get into it, you got to get into this console. And I figured, you know what, for $9, what the hell. So, and that is the big, heavy, massive, original Xbox. And it's in good shape, actually. I did clean it up a little bit. I didn't have the bits to take it apart, so unfortunately, I did not take it apart, but I was able to get my little air duster in there and blow it out. Clean the top with some Pledge, and she's looking pretty shiny. I did take it right after I got it to a local game store just to see if it worked, because Goodwill obviously doesn't guarantee anything. And it worked, and I got 2 games for it. This is a couple weeks ago, so there's a lot more games. And started playing some OG Xbox. And since then, I've been on like this crazy Xbox kick. Now, everyone told me this was a great system, and I figured out how much better could it be. I had the PS2, had the GameCube. I'm sure it's pretty good, but no, I was big into like a lot of PC games in that era, and a lot of them were for the Xbox. So this is great and really into it. So let's get into some of these Xbox games. And when I say I have a lot of games, guys, this is why I'm not doing the gameplay footage. So I do apologize. After this, I'm going to be more consistent with my pickups videos, especially when I have this many games. And that's not all of them, because there's some PS2 games down here. So, all right, so let's get into this. First one. Found these next few today at a local thrift store that I don't think too many people know about in my area. And you got to understand about something about Phoenix is there's quite a lot of YouTubers in Phoenix. You know, so I've got some competition, but they don't know about this place because the last 2 out of 3 times I've gone there, I've gotten some killer deals. And the first one is Burnout 2. I've not played it yet. And we're just gonna go through these. And the next one is Prince of Persia: The Two Thrones. I've actually never played the Prince of Persia series, always wanted to, and now I have a chance. And from what I've seen from the Xbox so far, I'm pretty sure these are gonna look awesome on there. Prince of Persia: A Warrior Within. And then Red Dead Revolver, and a classic, probably the biggest seller on the Xbox, essentially the console seller. People buy Xboxes for this game, Halo 2. And believe it or not, I've actually never played this one. I've played the first one on PC, and I've played the 3rd, 4th, and I haven't played the 5th yet on the 360 and the Xbox One. So I'm definitely gonna get into this. This is gonna be a kids go to bed, I'm gonna sit down, get on some Halo 2. And there's more. Those were at a thrift store. If I didn't say, for $3 a piece. So, if you watch my easiest retro gaming consoles to collect for or whatever, I mentioned that Xbox was definitely up there as far as the PS2, as far as affordability, and yeah. I don't think I've paid more than $8 for a game, and I've got a lot of games here, as you can see. All right, so this one was one of the first ones I bought. I got this for $2 at a retro game store. This is one of the games I brought when I tested out the system, and this is Unreal 2: The Awakening. Got a chance to play a little bit of this. Those are the first-person shooters I like. Those are the ones I used to play. I used to really get into. I used to really enjoy, and they just remind me a lot of just that old school first-person shooter feel. And I really enjoy it. It's got almost like a Halo vibe to it. So it is a little Halo-ish. But it is a good game. Now the next one, my 4-year-old has probably played more than me. Jessa, come here. You're gonna talk about this game real quick. Game that is.
This game calls Copper 2.
What's it called?
Copper 2.
Soul Calibur 2.
Yeah.
Can you say that?
Soul Calibur 2.
And who do you like to play as? You know her name?
I do not know her name.
But it's a girl, right?
Yeah.
And tell everybody what you did the first time you played it.
I beat up everyone.
You beat up everyone and you beat the game, right?
Yeah.
All right. So would you give that a good score? Do you think that's a good game?
Yeah.
All right. Say goodbye to everybody.
Bye.
So yeah, Soul Calibur 2 on the Xbox looks amazing. Like, everyone said the Xbox was ahead of its time, and you could definitely tell by that game. And this next one I'm going to show you that it really was, as far as you know, on a technological standpoint. This next one, like I'm saying, is Crimson Skies, and it's a rail shooter. And I mean, it's like early 360 graphics. I mean, and it does go to 480p, so it just looks amazing. Next one is Project Gotham 2. Something's going on with this disc. Actually, I'm having some trouble playing it in my Xbox, so I'm gonna have to take a peek, maybe clean it up. It looks clean, so if it doesn't work, I did get it at a retro store, and I'll just return it. Next one is Mech Assault. Have not played it yet, but it came. I did ask a few friends which games were good. This was one of the ones they mentioned, along with this other one that is an RPG, and I believe Black Metal Gamer had said this was a good one. And this is Jade Empire. And this is actually the limited edition. This has the, there's like a music CD in here, there's bonus content, and it was only $8. So it's an RPG. I played a little bit of the first few minutes, and so far so good. All right, the next one is a snowboarding game. I've never played these because they are an Xbox exclusive. I've played the Cool Border series for the PlayStation, really enjoyed them, so I figured I'd like this one, and that is Amped. I believe that's the first one, freestyle snowboarding. So yeah, that is the first one. Got it for a couple bucks. Haven't had a chance to throw it in yet. Obviously, I've only had this console for about 2 weeks, and you can see the amount of games. And being a dad of 3 kids and working full time, I am really having a hard time trying to fit this gaming in. But I'm making it work. I've actually put modern gaming on hold a little bit in order to play some of these awesome games. Next one, again, I never played this one. I actually never played any more past the first. So this is Metal Gear Solid 2. I threw it in just to see if it works, and it reminds me a lot of the first, with obviously the updated graphics. Really loved the first one. I don't know why I never got into the other ones after that. I think because as a younger adult, and I started to have responsibilities, I didn't have a lot of time to sit down and play really long games. So that's why I never really got into them. I played more games like this, in my early adulthood, and that is Unreal Championship, which really reminds me a lot of the original Unreal Tournament, just jumping on a LAN with some friends and killing each other on like a, one-on-one of 6 players, and just, man, it's fun to throw in and just go crazy on a first-person shooter and kill, even if it's just the AI. But might have to do a raw retro raw. I just got done watching another video by the name of Raw Review, but might do another retro replay on this. The next one is my all-time favorite movie. It's a video game, and I don't like this game because I'm like some weird hipster or anything. If you're a hipster and I offend you, oh well, get over it. But I just really like this movie, just because I grew up with it. It's a fun movie. I watch it all the time around like Halloween, Christmas, and I'll listen to the soundtrack when I'm in the car sometimes. And this is a really good game, actually, and it's Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas, Oogie's Revenge. And you essentially just go around as Jack, and Oogie Boogie has taken over the town, and you're trying to, I guess you were away or whatever, and you come back, and you got this like soul stealer whip sort of. Plays a little bit like Devil May Cry, but it's surprisingly a good game. It reminds me a little bit of Medieval for the PS1, obviously with better graphics, but it's a fun game. Not too many game or movies to games go very well, but rare instances, and I think this is one of those instances. So, good game. Get it. We're almost done. All right, so all of these are PS2 games that I got at Goodwill for less than $3 a piece. Actually, no, I'm sorry. One of them I did get it at a game store, and I'm going for the full Castlevania collection. It might take me a long time, especially because there's some that are not very easy to get a hold of in the US, but this is an easy one to add to my collection. And that is Castlevania Curse of Darkness for the PS2. And played about 2 hours of it the other night, and everything that wasn't very good in Lament of Innocence, they fixed in this one. They fixed the camera angles. I thought the camera angles were sometimes a little bit of an issue in Lament of Innocence, and this is fixed. The only thing that's not as good so far is, of course, the soundtrack, but when it comes to Symphony of the Night and Lament of Innocence, probably the 2 best soundtracks for the Castlevania series. But gameplay, storyline, so far A+. I got this for about $12 at a retro store in my area. It's not one that's found too often in the wild, so I figured I'd just go ahead and buy it. All right, the next one. So this next one is one of the first games I ever played online, actually, I believe, or was it maybe the third one I played online? It was this one or the third one I played online, and it is SOCOM US Navy SEALs for the PS2. That was a nostalgia buy, just because, but they are good games. They are fun third-person shooters. That was when they really kind of started to ramp up and get a little bit better. They weren't very good in the PS1 era. I thought like games like Siphon Filter. I mean, they were good games, but there was a lot lacking in those. I feel just because of technology. I don't think they could do a lot of the things they wanted to. This next one is it's Crash Tag Team. Crash Tag Team Racing. So big Crash fan. Saw it there, a couple bucks. Why not? It is a blue disc, my PS2, because it was a Goodwill Fat Boy. It has a little issues with the blue ones, so if anyone is out there looking for this one, I might be able to hook you up with a trade. Because if not, I'm gonna trade it in if I can't get it to work. Next one I picked up for about $1.50 on a Saturday at Goodwill when everything is half off. Haven't played it yet. Looks pretty decent though, and it's a movie to game, Ice Age, The Meltdown. We'll see how this one is. And then the very last one is a series I actually never played and I always wanted to play. And I got it again. This was at Goodwill. I'm not sure how much I paid for this. I took the sticker off, but it's probably only $2.99 because normally I won't pay more than that at a Goodwill. And that is Blood Rain. And so far so good. I like that you have the option to use weapons like a shotgun or pistols as well as your melee attacks. It's a good game. So yeah, huge pickups for, that was essentially the month of May. And I'm gonna try and be more consistent with this now that I've got some more free time, and maybe start doing this more of a bi-weekly thing with the game clips, because I know you guys really like those as an addition to the pickups part. So let me know what you guys think. If you guys have any good Xbox titles you would like to recommend, drop a comment below. I'm definitely gonna keep going hard on this console right now because that sounded really dirty. I'm gonna keep collecting hard for this one because, man, these games are cheap. I mean, Xbox, OG Xbox is probably the one of the easiest consoles to collect for as far as price-wise. But let me know how you guys made out, and as always, we'll see you on the next video, guys.